viewers, this is Just Fake Network TV, a home of accurate news. For those who subscribe to our channel, thank you so much for subscribing. We love you and we really appreciate you. And if you are yet to subscribe, please kindly press the subscription button below. Now the news in details. Shocking revelations about President Buhari and Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. What the media won't tell you about President Buhari and why Chief Olusegun Obasanjo remains the best president ever. Who is the best Nigerian president of all time? This question will always generate a series of arguments and controversies, as there will always be a divergent opinion. This is because different individuals tend to judge with different factors. Even when you outline the basis on which the president's performance should be judged, there will still be different opinions, as we tend to judge based on preference, sentiment, political affiliation, and what have you. Everywhere you look today, you find that self-acclaimed neutral person bemoaning the state of the nation, either in the past or present, present, depending on whose side the person is. Nigeria have got many leaders that had failed the country at one point or the other, which makes some school of thought believe it is better the country is returned to the colonial era and be recolonized by the British government. There have been many debates and arguments about who the best president in Nigeria is. Like Femi Adesina in his letter written sometimes last year to canvass support for his boss and show Nigerians why President Buhari needs to be returned, listed some of the things he feels are qualified to be counted as an achievement in his modern age. With the advent of social media and internet, what the media won't tell you about the president of Nigeria and why Olusegun remains the best president ever. Wow, this is serious. And obviously, Nigeria had different head of state from inception. And it includes the Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, 1960 to January 1966, Major General Johnson Ironsi, January 1960 to July 1966, General Yakubu Gowon, 1966 to July 1975, General Murtala Mohammed, July 1975 to 1976, which was assassinated, Major General Olusegun Obasanjo, 1976 to 1979, and Alhaji Shehu Shagari, 1986, that is 1979 to 1986, Major General Muhammad Buhari, 1983 to 1985, General Ibrahim Babangida, 1985 to 1993, Chief Ernest Shonekan, 1993 to 1993, which was overthrown November, General Sani Abacha, 1993 to 1998, which was dead, General Abdusalami Abubakar, June 1998 to 1999, President Olusegun Obasanjo again, 1999 to 2007, President Umaru Yar'Adua, 2007 to 2010, President Goodluck Jonathan, 2010 to 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari, May 2015, up to date. Wow, that's great. So in total, we've had 13 different presidents since the independence in 1960, with the inception of Sir James Robertson, who was the first Governor General from October 1st, 1960 to 17th November 1960, before handing over to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who later became the first president in 1963 when Nigeria became a republic. President Olusegun Obasanjo and Muhammadu Buhari had two stints, both as military head of state and civilian president. Former President Chief Aremu Olusegun Obasanjo will always outshine others in numerous ways. His giant stride stands him out and make him the best among equal. President Olusegun Obasanjo is not just an exceptional leader in Nigeria, he replicates same on the continent of Africa and the world at large. His landmark achievements are obvious to the feeble mind, clear for the blind to see, loud enough for the deaf to hear, and too enormous for even opposition to ignore. There is no way anyone would talk about democratic advancements in Africa today without the mention of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Such was and still in his contribution to democracy both in Nigeria and Africa at large. There are several achievements of Olusegun Obasanjo that a true and sincere Nigerian cannot but appreciate, no matter the political, religions, and ethnic divide one belong. Below are some of the achievements of Obasanjo-led government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My argument in search of Obasanjo as the best president is based in his performances in the following sector areas: education, banking, security, peace, and unity, fight against corruption, good governance, and so on. In no order, his achievements include, but not limited to: 1. Appointment of technocrats like Nehu, Rabidu, Ngozi, Ibiageli, and so on like that. He practically searched for the country's best hand across the globe and brought them together to replicate for the country the good work they were doing individually in his respective field. This shows Obasanjo genuinely wanted a better Nigeria. 2. $18 billion debt relief from the parish and London clubbed. His administration secured the debt relief and got the country debt-free. Wow, that's great. A feat that has never been achieved by any president in the history of the country. All thanks to Obasanjo and Dr. Ngozi. He raised the foreign reserve from $2 billion naira in 1999 to $43 billion when he was leaving office in 2007, despite the low crude oil price with an average of 41 per barrel dollars. 4. He establishment of institutions like ICPC and EFCC and also strengthened Code of Conduct Bureau to fight corruption in Nigeria, which yielded tremendous results. He brought mobile telecommunication (GSM) into Nigeria, which cannot be contested as the greatest achievement by any Nigerian leaders. This encouraged proliferation of entrepreneurship in Nigeria in a way the country has never witnessed before. The dramatic developmental change in Federal Capital Territory, as spearheaded by Nasser El-Rufai as the then FCT minister, cannot be overemphasized. 7. Launching of Nigeria's first satellites in space, which ensure good internet and mobile communication. Corruption fights. Obasanjo remains the only president that truly fights corruption, as criminals, top politicians like Chief Bode George, Tafawa Balogun, fraudsters were sent to jail by EFCC and ICPC. A sitting governor was impeached on allegation of corruption. Speaker was forced to resign and prosecuted for certificate forgery. 9. He remained the first and most detribalized president in the history of Nigeria, with vice president from the north, senate president from the east, finance minister and CBN governor from the east, defense ministers from the north. He practiced the federal character as enriched in the 1979 constitution. No region was marginalized. He presently advocating for Eastern president come 2023, unlike what we have now where only one region is qualified to hold juicy position in the country. 10. Privatization of government, moribund industrial investments like Sheraton, PHCN, to curb wastage, as government was paying for unproductive sectors workers to reduce corruption. 11. Creation of excessive crude account, ECA. Obasanjo created an excess crude account for the purpose of saving revenue in excess of the budgetary benchmark as at today. So we can see that Obasanjo did a lot in Nigeria. He made a positive impact in Nigeria. There are still some more that we didn't even mention that this guy did in Nigeria. He is a true president of Nigeria. So my viewers today, what do you think about this news? What is your own opinion? Do you think Obasanjo is the best president so far? Or do you think that our Mr. Muhammadu Buhari is the best president so far? Your comment is very important to us. Kindly drop it below. Click on the subscription button And also press the bell icon to get updates whenever we upload videos. Bye.